Hi, I'm Reyna.
And I'm Megan. Welcome to the Shh Don't Talk About It podcast, where we talk about all the things we need to say out loud but think that we can't.
We're gonna
join us on this journey as we get rid of shame and start talking about it.
Don't talk about it.
Welcome to episode 4.
Ooh, look at that body.
But before we get going, what do?
We fucking crack those claws, baby!
Yeah.
Cheers! Yay!
Okay, so today we're talking about body issues.
Yes.
And this is kind of a heavy hitter for both of us.
Yeah.
You know, there is so much pressure in this society. If you are a person who is a woman, identifies as a woman, to meet some beauty standards, some ideal. And it's also a fucking trap, because if you don't like yourself and talk shit to yourself all the time, people want to lecture you about being positive about yourself. If you feel too good about yourself,
oh yeah,
people want to neg you for being conceited.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't say that you're pretty when you're pretty. I mean, that's so fucked up. I hate that shit.
Trust me, I've got stories about that.
That is the shit that pisses me off. Like, we fucking support. I'm a supporter of like women and expression, all of that shit. And then, but the moment like a pretty person comes on, like, you just see them getting attacked by admitting that they're pretty. Like, we're not allowed to fucking say that out loud.
I feel like it's like there's something in this culture that is uncomfortable with a woman claiming her space and feeling good about herself.
Yes.
Like,
it's deeply rooted in fucking society. That's why.
Yeah, and it's really frustrating. I remember this time a couple of summers ago, and I will say, and I'll share a lot more about this, I, for most of my life, and even frequently still, like, do not and have not felt good about myself physically. But I remember 2 summers ago, I was in Greece, out with my best friend, having like such a good time at this club. And these guys approach us, like, they want to talk, whatever. So we're just like chatting, and one of them says to me, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think you are?
What?
I know. And I was like, well, I actually don't.
I think I'm uninterested in you, motherfucker.
That's basically what I was like. I was basically like, I don't really.
Oh my god!
I don't really subscribe to number ratings. That's like super misogynistic, and like that's not my thing. And he kept pushing it, so I was like, fine, I think I'm a fucking 10.
Yeah.
And then he started negging me for like feeling good about myself.
Oh my god!
Like,
when we're supposed to feel good about ourselves.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying.
But not too good about ourselves.
Exactly, like you should feel good, but not too good. And so that's why I think this is important to talk about, because we live in this trap where you need to like be body positive and say good things about yourself, and then when you do, or you put it out there, like, I feel good and I think I look good, immediately people want to
shame you,
tear you down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this one's really near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah.
And I think probably to a lot of our listeners, because we just grow up in this soup of negative messages about our physical appearances.
Yeah, and what that is supposed to look like, what that's supposed to feel like, what size that's supposed to be, what color that's supposed to be, all of the fucking supposed to be. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, we just are, you know? And like, we are all fucking beautiful. Like, our bodies are amazing at what they do. We're all, and then we're just like these, like I was talking to Megan earlier about, we're just walking around in these skin bags that we're just like trying to do the best that we can with this outer appearance, hoping it reflects who we are inside. But it's so difficult, and it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. What was it like for you? Like, what has your journey with your body and your physical appearance been like? Like,
no, it's just been a trip, because people that see me now, I mean, they know, if you know me, you know I work out all the time, and there's just a thing, I never get to that body that I want, that I envision.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what am I even doing?
Like, what is the standard that you're even holding yourself to?
Yeah. Like, what is this? I know, because I'm not going to be fucking 5'10". I'm 5'2". I'm 5'2".
Are you okay, so Reyna is short, I guess. Apparently, Reyna is short. She's 5'2".
I'm 5'2". Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But I, for the longest time, thought that we were at the same height.
How tall are you, Megan?
5'10".
Oh my God, you're 5'10".
You have like tall girl energy.
Oh my God, I'm 8 inches shorter than you.
I always thought you were tall.
Oh my God, that's crazy. And Sergio, my partner, he's 6'2". But I am always, I don't know, I have this image of myself of being short and, you know, plumpy, and I don't know, like, and I know I'm not those things.
I think it just goes to show
other people, but
right.
in my head, I am like,
right.
I am like that. I see myself as that. I look down and I'm like, oh my God, what is all this, you know? And I think that goes, like, a lot of my friends who are super thin and beautiful, and they're in their head about, like, their stomach. Like, my stomach has always been a thing for me. Mm-hmm. I always look down, I see my stomach, and even, like, when I see pictures of me from 4 or 5 years ago, and I worked my ass off and I was super skinny, when I see myself then, in that moment, I remember thinking I was fat. I thought I had a belly on me, but I didn't.
Yeah.
It's like this fucked up thing in your head.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just goes to show, like, none of us probably see ourselves as we really are or as we look to others, and B, why are we not allowed to have a stomach? Like,
right.
We have one because
I know.
It's on our bodies, and, like, who gives
and
a shit?
I eat and I drink and I'm supposed to have a baby, I guess. That's what our body, you know what I mean? Like, all women have, I think, these pooches, or I don't even know what you call them.
It's just your stomach. It's just your body. And it's so toxic.
It's toxic because there is, like, a name for that people fucking put out there that I hate.
Yeah.
I know. I hate it. It's disgusting. Because it is natural. It's fucking natural to have this, because, again, it's supposed to grow because you're supposed to have a baby. Like, our bodies are made for a purpose, for a reason, and it's not to fucking look good, okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's
for you or for them or for him, you know what I mean? Like, it's supposed to, they're made to survive.
Yeah.
To create life.
Except we're, like, programmed from a very young age to try and reach some ideal that is just, it's unattainable, like you're saying, like, whatever it is, whatever that body that you think you're supposed to have or supposed to get, like, it doesn't even exist.
I know, it doesn't. I want to be slim thick, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever that is, whatever the new fucking fad is, you know, that's always, like, something. There's always something, right? Like, back in the 80s, it was, like, Jane Fonda, super skinny.
Yes,
like,
and that's what trapped me.
Oh.
Honestly, so, like, this is actually, like, a really, like, pretty fraught and, like, complicated and difficult topic for me, because I have spent so much of my life, and still am to a certain degree, like, pretty dysmorphic, like, pretty disconnected from reality of my body, very hard on her, very unappreciative of all of the things that it can do. I mean, I went on a diet for the first time when I was 10. Do you want to know what my diet was?
Oh my God.
Frozen grapes. I was allowed to eat all day as long as the only thing I was eating was frozen grapes. And I liked the frozen because in my head, my 10-year-old head, 10, the cold from the grapes would, like, sort of, like, numb my taste buds. So then I wouldn't want to eat food that had a taste. So this was the summer I was 10, frozen grapes all day, and then you can eat what mom makes for dinner.
Oh
that was my diet that I did not need to be on.
Where did that come from?
When I was 10 years old.
What did you...
I honestly think that my mom and my grandma were always on diets. Every fucking thing. Slim Fast. The cabbage diet, that was disgusting and really smelly. You just eat cabbage.
Oh my God, I never heard of these things. But.
It's really gnarly. Atkins, Weight Watchers. I mean, my mom and grandma were on every diet. And so I kind of thought I needed to be on one too. And it was tricky for me as a kid. I'm 5'10" now. I've been this height since 8th grade. So as a 10-year-old, I was approaching this height. I was probably like 6'5", 7".
Wow.
Pretty gangly, but I would look and I would find places on my body that I thought were fat. Quote in quotes fat.
Same.
I weighed more than my friends because they were all like 7 inches shorter than me.
I was like 4'8".
And so like of course I was bigger than my friends because I was much, much taller than them. But I just I think it just came from that. And then it wasn't
like wanting to be small,
wanting to be tiny, wanting to fit that ideal, which in the 80s was Jane Fonda. In the 90s, like that was when we had like all the supermodels that came on the scene. And like that is, I loved magazines when I was a kid. So like the only one I read that wasn't toxic was probably Jane. Or Sassy, but like 17.
Oh my god, I forgot about those fucking magazines.
I would just flip through them and I would stare at the models and think like, you are supposed to look like that. And like I had other stuff going against me too. I had very bad skin, which I still like. I look in the mirror and all I can see are scars that are not there. I actually had a dermatologist who I've done a bunch of skin treatments. To work on the scars, but my dermatologist told me a couple years ago after the last round of like very intense microneedling that we did, he was like, we're done now. Your acne scarred your mind more than your face, and nobody sees what you're seeing because it's not there. But it really, really, really got in my head. I had big glasses, I had braces, like I definitely went through a very awkward phase. Until 8th grade when I got contacts and my skin sort of cleared up. It got worse again later. I got my braces off. But yeah, I mean, that shit started early for me, and it is still very, very present. And like, in a way where like, I almost feel like anxious and like, this is a really vulnerable topic for me.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a hard one. Yeah,
that must have been hard as a kid to try to like, be in that body and like figure it out, and you were trying to figure it out, and then you're trying to minimize or you know, make yourself small,
like literally shrink myself. Had full-blown eating disorder my senior year of high school. When I discovered diet pills, which back then it was like fen. Do you remember that?
Yes.
There's just like legal meth.
Yeah, I mean I took it for other purposes. But
I didn't
like the fucking no dose shit.
I got kind of like a little too into those, and it was like I would not eat breakfast. I would take my diet pills that like I don't even know how we got them because you had to be 18. I must have had a friend that was old enough to get them because I was 17. It was like, take my diet pills. I would drink a Diet Coke mid-afternoon, have another Diet Coke and an apple for lunch while I was at school, more diet pills, go to work because I always had a job, and then would get home and like every day for like most of that year, the most substantial thing I ate was an egg salad sandwich for dinner.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
It was gnarly.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on a diet, but not because I wanted to be, but.
Well, why were you then?
Oh, because we didn't have any money. But.
Okay, that's different.
Like, you know.
You just didn't have access. So, okay, so you had like some food, like insecure, like lack of access to food.
Yes.
Did that, like, has that impacted your relationship to food at all, do you think?
Yeah. Now, because now I'm like fucking, I eat fast food. I'm a fast food fucking junkie.
True.
I love fast food because we never got it when we were kids. We never got a lot of shit. Like a lot of, you know, my mom fed us. We got the basics. It was hard. Like I said, she was a single mom for the majority of my, you know, when I was a teen. And she has all these teens that are hungry, you know? And so, yeah, I mean, it was, I begged for money at school because I didn't want to eat the lunch that my mom, you know, that we had to bring with, nobody wants fucking tortilla chips, okay, with a sandwich.
Yeah, or like we were on free and reduced lunch when I was in school, and hot lunch is gnarly
Oh my
too.
gosh, I wanted hot lunch so bad, and finally I got hot lunch.
Friends, I used to.
You would have given it to me.
I would have given it to you. Like that was, I used to get it and then just like give it to my friend Brian because I like the idea of eating the French bread pizza. Like that was a food that was on a list of foods I wasn't allowed in my head to eat, so I would just give it away and then eat an apple.
Oh, yeah, like, we should have befriended back then because what I had for lunch was whatever more please, fucking the chocolate grandma cookies with the chocolate milk. That was like $1, probably $1.25. That's after bumming it from the line. I was like, can you give me some? But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, that was just, I didn't think it was shameful at the time. I just was like, I wanted sweets. I didn't want to eat the lunch. You know, it's not like we didn't have food, okay? I don't want to say like we were starving or our mom starved us, but I didn't want the food that we had at home, which are the basics, which is like fucking tortilla chips and fucking like a peanut butter jelly sandwich every fucking day. And I didn't want that. Nobody wants that when you're a kid, you know, but that's what we had. And then it wasn't until my senior year, no, it wasn't until my sophomore year that I did get fucking free lunch because I was a custody of the state at that time, and I was like, yeah, look at me going back into this line getting a fucking free lunch and I can eat like a hamburger and fries rather than a piece of bread. Oh my God.
That makes me
so maybe that's why I didn't have such a like a it was
different.
It's different.
Well, and I'm just
but
thinking
the relationship with food was different, you know.
Yeah. And I also like I think that is something that I feel some shame around because of how strange my relationship to food has been and still is at times. Like, I'm so privileged and lucky I can afford to buy food to nourish my body with. And I have this programming that's pretty sick.
Well, that
creates like this idea that food is the enemy, and like it makes me like that makes me sad on many levels. It also grosses me out because it's like, oh my God, like you're so lucky. Like I'm in a position where I could purchase and prepare healthy, nourishing foods, and I have spent so much of my life at war with food and at war with my body in a way that like it does kind of like smack of privilege.
Yeah.
At the same time it's also
a sickness,
like,
you know,
it's just been like pushed into my head that I have to shrink myself.
Well, and I think that came from your mom, or you know,
my
like
upbringing.
Because I feel like we are a reflection of what we, you know, were brought up with. And like our mom, our thing at the dinner table is you're going to eat, you cannot be excused from the table until you eat everything on your plate. And you're going to eat whatever I fucking give you. And so that was just how it was. So I didn't have that, like, I can't eat. Well, I stayed at the dinner table for a long time, many nights, because I wasn't going to eat that fucking liver.
Oh, God.
It was disgusting. My mama thought it was good for us, but it was disgusting. So, but yeah, that was the tone in my home was, like, you know, you're going to eat what is here, and that's it, you know.
Yeah.
That's all you got. Kitchen's closed.
You know?
But yeah, which in turn, later on in life when I started making money and I could feed myself, I was like, I just gorged, and I still do. I spend a lot of money on fucking food. That's the majority of the shit I spend on. I am an emotional eater. I fucking, like, it makes me feel so good when I eat my fucking fast food, you know, or my Taco Bell. Yeah. I mean, I have a whole fucking thing. I mean, talk to me about it, about sauces, all right, with all the fast food. It's a thing.
Yes, we should actually do like a little like mini-sode on Reyna's takes on sauces.
Yes, it's a whole theory. Okay, but I mean, moving on, the relationship with food is interesting because we both have, you know, different takes on it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Have you always felt like mostly pretty good about the way you look?
No.
No?
No. I mean, I just feel like My body that's always been a thing. There's always been something. And I think that a lot of people can relate to that. There's always something. I fucking hate my nose. I'm getting to like my nose, but I hate it. I hate how big my nostrils are. I hate, but that is my Filipino side. And I need to embrace that and love that. But I fucking, my nose, it's a thing. And my ears.
Just like internalized, like white standards of beauty?
I guess so. I didn't really... Both of my sisters have shared stories with me of growing up and about, you know, being Filipino, you know, presenting in school and in the names that we're called and how awkward it is to just like look around all, you know, and you're the only brown person here, you know, we're in Oregon. So it's like, but I can't, I don't know. I don't remember the same experiences. I remember the name calling, but it didn't affect me as much as I thought that it did. So maybe it did affect my nose, the thoughts about my nose.
Your nose is beautiful. And your freckles.
Oh my god, I do have fucking my grandma's freckles, which I don't like either. Because they're like raised freckles. They're not like,
well, they're I also have like, I have a thing with freckles.
Oh,
I'm like super into them, but they're...
I got a lot of them.
But yeah, I wonder if it is just some, again, like, I think what all of us are held to is this, like, ridiculous, unattainable, very white standard of beauty. Right. And I wonder if,
oh my god, like today when I was just doing my makeup, I was, like, bronzing my nose, and I was like, what am I doing? I'm making my nose look skinnier and pointier. You know what I mean? Because that's what they teach you to do, to highlight and low light, is like to do it around your nose. And I was like, oh, so I can have a pointy fucking nose. So
you have like a weird like Western European nose.
Yeah,
you're Filipina.
I know.
And beautiful.
Thank you.
But I think it's hard to hear that, isn't it? Like it's hard. It can be when you have some little worm of like a toxic thought in your head. It can be hard to hear. Like, your nose is beautiful.
No.
Do you believe me when I say that?
I mean...
You want to believe me, right?
Yeah,
but
I mean, I still feel that,
yeah.
I'm feeling inside.
I get you. I mean, I honestly, until, like, 18 months ago, like, legitimately thought I was, like, pretty ugly. Like, what? Really, truly, yeah, I know. Like, again, it's like, this episode's a hard one for me. This is actually a little harder than I thought because I have so much that I've held in and carried. But, like, I remember in high school, like, in 9th grade, like, at some party or something, I don't remember exactly where I was, like, just standing with my friends talking, and this guy comes up and is like, oh wow, like you're really beautiful. And I was like, oh, thank you. And he goes, except your face is crooked.
What?
And it is true, my face is a little bit asymmetrical.
We're all asymmetrical.
Crooked. Yes. I held on to that for years. I even like once went to a plastic surgeon with the question, can you fix my crooked face? And they were like, no, it doesn't need to be fixed. We don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't even... So, I mean, I think I've just also had the misfortune of, like, being around, like, shitty, abusive people assholes, and internalizing it. Or I had a boyfriend once, and at this time in my life, I was, like, I was, like, maybe 30 pounds heavier than I am right now. So I wasn't, like, I didn't have the body shape I have now, but I was still fine. But I had a boyfriend that was like, I would be more attracted to you if you lost 10 to 15 pounds.
Ew.
Yeah, I broke up with him. But like I've had these
horrible
messages
people.
Like pushed into me.
Yes, of course.
And so it really took like going through a very difficult breakup that required like deep self-examination and like really intense work towards self-love to stop walking around thinking that it was just like an ugly mess. And it's always been my Achilles heel. I remember one time talking with my brother who his thing is that he's not very smart, which is crazy because
that is crazy.
Incredibly smart.
Yeah.
And my thing is I'm ugly. And we both my brother is like very handsome, and I actually always was like, I wish that I could be at least as pretty as Joshua is. We just had this moment where he was like, I always wanted to be as smart as you. And I was like, I always wanted to be as pretty as you. And then we were like, wow, we need to stop talking shit to ourselves.
Yes. Oh my God.
But I think
we are our own worst critics.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people can relate to that. I mean, once you start saying things out loud, and I mean, I'm just saying, I work out a lot, and I have my own idea of what I want my body to look like, and I feel like it's all relative, and I think I don't feel any shame when I say, you know, what I want to look like. And so when people say, why, you're skinny, or you don't need to do that, you're skinny, you're skinny, or blah blah blah, I'm just like, oh my God, I wish I could fucking just be okay with that. Mm-hmm. You think that, but I don't think that.
And also, like, it would just be nice to, like, not have other people's opinions in the mix, you know?
I feel like it's all relative. Everything is relative. Yeah. Like, we all have our own shit that we're dealing with. And, yeah, I think if I want to work out, or if I want to, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think there's definitely a fine line, you know, and being healthy with it. And, but I work out for mental health purposes as well. Like, it's a big mental health thing for me to get my energy out there and just feel good and present. But I would appreciate it if people stop just like saying that, like, you know, like labeling me, like it's like basically saying like, you're pretty so you have no problems, or you're skinny so what are you complaining about? And like, we're not allowed to exist and have our own things. And I would never do that to somebody else. Like,
no. Well, it's just like the like running the idea that it's okay to have running commentary on a woman's physical appearance, period, is fucked up. Like, I have this friend who I really love and admire her approach to this. Like, she doesn't give compliments at all that are appearance based, which I love. She doesn't engage in body talk, period. It's like, I'm not going to engage with you in you negging yourself. I'm not going to talk to you about your diet. I'm not going to talk to you about your workout. Like, you are a whole ass person with like very important contributions to the world outside of your physical appearance. And I love that, because we just live
get
in this
consumed
place
by it.
Yeah,
I mean, look at
like
Instagram
commentary.
I mean,
I know.
I mean, please follow us on Instagram.
And we're both guilty of it. We love a filter, but
all the filters, right? I mean, we are guilty. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. It's fucking the culture. It's a society that we're all trying to exist in. But also just need to be light with it and not be so fucking heavy or hard on yourself, you know, or hard on other people. Like, you know, really when it comes down to it, like, fuck, dude, we're all fucking doing what we think we should be doing, or what we think we should be looking like. All of the things, you know.
Yeah, I've been getting kind of into this concept of like body neutrality that comes from this fitness instructor. Their name's Bethany Myers. They're amazing, in recovery for an eating disorder, and like they kind of coined the term body neutrality to just kind of think about, like, obviously like body negativity is when we're like beating the shit out of ourselves, like I did my entire life, and there is the body positivity movement, which I do think is a good thing, except that if you're a pretty body negative person and you have a hard time ever feeling positive about yourself, you can sort of get into this toxic spiral of like, I'm supposed to be body positive, but I'm not, and I'm failing all of womankind with my body negativity. So the concept of body neutrality is just like, I accept and celebrate my body for what it is and what it can do, and I am striving to just be in like neutral relationship with myself.
I love that.
So you don't have to have the pressure of like being like always joyful and positive, and you don't have to have the like shitty feelings that come from kicking the shit out of yourself all the time. You can just be neutral toward. And that's what I'm really striving toward, and I'm also just, I think I'm trying to frame goals for myself now around just like strength and like what the body that I'm in can do, that I'm really lucky that it can do, and like probably won't always have that, like, you know, so trying to like reframe the relationship that way, but it's really difficult.
It is.
I still get stuck in that spiral.
As I'm like trying to like.
I know. Was just
hide my stomach as I shift. Oh my God, I know. It's hard. It's fucking hard. But I like that thought because we need to come. There needs to be a shift. We need to come to the real, to terms that fuck, our bodies are amazing things, and there's not a one size fits all. Like. Yeah. And we need to embrace all sizes, all colors, all everything. Like, why does it have to be, it's like a skinny, like, light-skinned, right? Am I tripping, or is that like the ideal?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's absolutely the ideal that we're sold.
Or with and with the big fucking ass. Like, how is that possible? It's not possible. All the fucking shit you see is work. Like, work done, right? And there's nothing wrong with getting work done, but you need to, like, I would love if these people would just admit that they had work done. There's no shame about that.
But that's the thing. There is shame in that, too. Like, this is where I just feel like we're in this, like, multifaceted trap, because it's like, okay, I'm supposed to look some type of way, so then you, like, do the things to look that type of way, and then people shit talk you as well. Like, I am very open about this. I get Botox. I love it. It makes me feel better about myself. And there's definitely people that judge me for it. And I saw something. I can't remember who it was. It was
damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Some actress. It might be Chrissy Teigen. I'm not sure though. But there's some person, like, gorgeous picture on Instagram, and someone had commented, like, I wish I looked like you. And what I love is that whoever this person
it was Chrissy Teigen.
Was like, girl, I don't even look like me.
Yeah.
Like, eyebrows are microbladed. Eyelashes are fake. I have lip injections. Yeah. This is Botox. This is fillers. Like, I do not even look like me. Yeah. And, like, just being able to say, like,
I wish more people would admit that.
That's why ever since I got Botox for the first time, I've talked about it really freely, because, like, I don't feel ashamed of it. I don't want, if I didn't get it, I'd have really deep forehead wrinkles, and I don't want them. And maybe that makes me a superficial bitch, or maybe it just makes me honest. I don't know. No,
it makes you honest, and it's like, it's what you're happy with, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't gotten Botox, but I fucking would, you know? Like, I don't want fucking, I would get Botox, I would dye my hair. Like, luckily I haven't had to do those things, but I would. There's no judgment there. And what I want the most is for women to feel safe enough to speak up about the work that they've done, to, like, look the way they look, because otherwise people are looking at them, other women are looking at them like that look is attainable, and it's fucking not attainable. It's not even real.
No.
And it sets up this fake expectation, like, we know those asses aren't fucking real. Stop saying they are.
Exactly.
Stop saying they are.
Well, and I feel like we're supposed to, like, all of this is stuff that we're, like, not allowed to talk about. Like, we're supposed to just appear in the world looking aesthetically pleasing to some beauty standard that's bullshit. We're not, like, if you say out loud, like, I have, like, a challenging relationship with my body, or I have food issues, people look down on you.
Yeah.
I know that they do, because I am a person who says that, and I see the look in people's eyes.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like, don't feel sorry for me. I'm being honest about the fact that I'm challenged by these things.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in a way that, like, created this false understanding of what I'm supposed to look like, or how I
your relationship with food.
Yeah, my relationship with food. Totally. I've been told, like, very abusive things. Like, I have a complicated relationship with these things.
Yeah.
Don't judge me for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we're not allowed to talk about our insecurities. We're not allowed to talk about feeling good about ourselves. And we're not allowed to talk about the things that we do to look the way that we want to do. We're just supposed to be, like, silent and beautiful. And that pisses me off.
Yeah. And whatever that beautiful means, like, is. Yeah. Like, what is that beautiful? Like,
says who?
Exactly. You know? Like, beautiful is, again, all fucking relative. It's all, who knows what, I don't know. It pisses me off. It makes me mad the most that we are not allowed to talk about how good we look or feel, unless we worked really hard to look that way. Unless it's a fucking comeback story, right? Everybody loves a comeback story. Comeback story, I'm doing quotation marks, because where you know what I mean? But I think when it really comes down to it, it's like, if you feel good, it's all about feeling good, you know? Yeah. So whatever feels good to you, if that feels good to fucking, you know, work your ass off to obtain this image that you want or this body that you want, then great. Like, I'm fucking happy for you. That's amazing, and the hard work that you put into it. And even if you didn't fucking work hard and you fucking love the body that you're in and you know what I mean? I'm happy for you too. It's all about like feeling good.
It's just kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. Like a couple weeks ago, Lizzo did like a juice cleanse. I don't know if you saw this in her Instagram stories.
And I tried one of those.
I've in general, especially for people like me that are weird about food, like detox is a quick pathway back into the eating disorder. So I don't do stuff like that. She did it, and she explained it very clearly on her story on Instagram that it wasn't about weight loss, it was about needing a reset because she'd been drinking too much and like just generally like just needed a reset. Yeah. And she got like so much hate, and she was like, I'm a big girl that did a juice cleanse. Like, stop talking shit to me. So it's just like from every direction, everybody, even these people we idolize, have to live up to this like bullshit, like just feel good about yourself, meet expectations. Yeah. And don't talk about it. Right. Right. Oh, boo. Jeez. Boo. Well, so what are some things that we have figured out to do that like can bust through this like this stigma that like actually just like help us feel good in the bodies that we're in? What do? You work out a ton.
I do work out a ton, and you know, to be honest, I really try hard not to be mean to myself. You know, like there's always, like I said before in episode 1, like you are not the thoughts. Like I am aware of these thoughts. I see them come in and I dismantle them. I'm like, no, you know what I mean? So I really try to be kind to myself. And not be so strict, you know? Like, it's not fucking sustainable. Like, diets are not sustainable. I've done them all, too. I've fucking done them all. I've done a lot of them.
Except the cabbage one, apparently.
No, but I mean, don't do it. No, don't. I love cabbage.
It's all you eat, though.
Oh, no, that would be like smelly farts. Yeah. It's like so gas. Yeah. How is that impossible? You'd be really bloaty, I feel like.
It's really bad. It's not a diet. It's a scam.
Yeah, I mean, I tried like juicing for like 8 hours, and then I was like, I want chicken wings. Like, I can't do this to myself. So I stopped putting rules on myself.
I think that's exactly right. That's what I've been working on and working toward. Like, have been learning a lot. My therapist told me to check out this book on intuitive eating, and have really just been working on like focusing on eating what sounds good to me in the moment. Yeah. Not putting limits or restrictions. Yes. These days I exercise just because I like it, not because I need to punish myself. A couple of days ago I was doing like a third workout and was like, what are you doing? This is bananas. This doesn't feel good and you don't want to do it. And the victory is I stopped. I was like, no, I'm actually going to go get some bagel bites and FaceTime right now. And it was perfect. Yeah. But it is a journey, I think, for anybody out there listening who struggles with that kind of thing. I want you to know you're not alone, and it is actually okay to say it out loud.
Yeah. And we would love to hear your story, too, you know? So.
Yeah. What's your relationship with food? What's your story? What are your body image issues that you struggled with? You are safe to tell them to us. Trust me, I get it.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your story and being brave about that. Because I know it's...
Yeah, it's embarrassing to admit that you feel this way about, like, that I feel this way about myself or have and sometimes still do. But I wanted to, because I think a lot of people have that shit. Yeah.
It's true.
Well, I think it's time for a pearl of wisdom.
I think so too.
All right, so I think that our pearl of wisdom for today is to just be kind to yourself and grateful to your body.
Yes.
Focus on what it can do for you. Feed it food, for fuck's sake.
Yes.
And be joyful in feeding it food. You know, like, it is a privilege to be able to afford and prepare nourishing food that you like. And fuck it. It's also a privilege to like eat that damn Taco Bell.
Oh, I fucking love that shit.
When you need that comfort. So do both, you know, it's all about balance. And
all
so
about balance.
be kind, be grateful, and just celebrate the gifts that your body brings you. And let's all just please try to let go of those fucking unrealistic beauty standards.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And be kind to one another.
So we would love to know, we know that we are not the only ones in this like up and down journey of trying to understand how to relate to our bodies and our physical appearance and how to celebrate it and how to feel good celebrating it. So we would love to hear your stories, which you can send to us at info@shdonttalk.com. Shh is SHHH. And where can folks find us on Instagram?
Oh, you can find us on Instagram at shh, that's SHH_Don't Talk Podcast. Please find us and follow us, baby.
And as always, please rate, review, and subscribe. Download us. It helps a lot. Find us on YouTube. And then finally, stay tuned for next week where we do part 2 on bodies. This time, we will be talking not so much about how our bodies look and the way we feel ashamed about that, but instead we will be talking about things our bodies do.
Things our bodies do, y'all.
Things our bodies do.
You know what I mean?
That we also are kind of programmed to feel bad about. So
right? The most natural fucking thing.
A little bit more lighthearted.
Yeah.
Join us for that one. And again, just remember, be good to yourself and eat.
Eat.
Love
Love you.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.